Hello everyone, good morning, welcome back at Example. Yes, today we are here with the physics part. So today we are going to start physics where we will be including all the questions which were asked in SSC previous year. Which SSC examinations? It will include CPO, it is going to include CHSL, then there are other examinations including MTS as well. So here today is the first day where we are starting with the physics section. Today we will be having discussion on some of the inventions, discoveries. Apart from that, we will be having discussion on some of the units. And from tomorrow, we will be starting with the force and all, and then we'll move forward. Just we moved forward in the case of biology. In the same part, we are also proceeding with the physics also. So yes, what's the first question on the screen? Let's have a look. The first question is, anemometer is used to measure what? Now this is from SSC DEO 2008, SSC Cpo 2003 and Section Officer 2006. Let's see who gives this answer. Now, since we are talking about anemometer, this thing which is clear to us is, so when we are talking about meter, that means it's very obvious what? That we are talking about some of the instrument. Now what kind of instrument is it? When we are talking about this anemometer, remember it will be helping for the measurement of what? This anemometer actually helps in the measuring of the wind speed. Fine. So actually there are the options which are given here. If I talk about the altimeter, this means we are talking about height. So let me write for you. When we talk about altimeter, just have a look. Here, this alti means what? Alti means height. That means we are talking about height over here. And if someone asks you about the anemometer, please remember this anemometer is actually telling you about the wind speed. Fine. So yes, if I talk about anemometer, we have discussed that. Now, if I talk about diagometer, what is it? Diagometer is actually used where? If I talk about diagometer, here we can discuss about the electromagnetic, what we will say, we can say that this here actually this name is wrong. It would be diagometer. Fine. So here diagometer, chronometer, anemometer, altimeter. Okay, so the options are actually according to that. Okay, let me write for you. This anemometer was helping you in measuring the wind speed. Now this is important. Fine. So here if I write about altimeter, this means we are talking about height over here. So this is the thing. Here the options were according to them. So just try to relate it. Yes, anemometer is helping in the measuring of the wind speed and altimeter is for the height. Then if I talk about the purity of the milk. So purity of the milk is measured by what? So this is from CHSL 2014 and MTS 2014. So purity of milk is measured by what? Purity of milk. Let's see who gives this answer. And yes, till the time you are giving the answer, let me tell you, I was discussing about diagometer. Yeah, I forgot about it. So yeah, diagometer is what? It is actually an electroscope. Fine. So actually there was written dogometer. That was actually spelling mistake was there. It is actually a diagometer, which will be a electroscope. Fine. So yes, waiting for the answer. Purity of the milk is measured by what? Is it hydrometer? Is it lactometer? Is it thermometer? Or is it polarimeter? So what is going to be the correct answer? See, when we talk about the purity of the milk, now, if I talk about milk, we have discussed this in the bio part. What? When we talk about milk, there we have bacteria, that is lactobacillus, remember? Which was helping in what? When we were talking about the conversion from milk to the curd, remember? Yes. Now, if I talk about this lacto, apart from that, we have an acid. What is that? Lactic acid. Lacto, lactic. Can you relate with these options? You can have a look. Lactometer. That means whenever we'll talk about the purity of the milk. So for the purity of the milk, there's a device which actually is telling this milk is pure or not. So exactly how much pure is it? So we'll talk about the density and all over there. So purity of the milk is actually measured by lactometer. Now, if I'll talk about hydrometer, from the word itself, we can just relate it. Hydro, water, correct? If I talk about thermo, this means we are talking about temperature, thermometer, measuring of the temperature. But yes, these small things are actually helpful in the examination. Just have a look. From the name itself, we can define. If someone is asking about the purity of the milk, we can relate it from the lactic acid or lactobacillus. Remember? So yes, here lactometer is the correct answer. That is option number B. Next. The instrument for measuring the intensity of earthquakes is called what? Now this is from SSC Tax Assistant 2006. So if someone is asking about the instrument for measuring the intensity of the earthquake, so what is going to be its answer? Intensity of earthquakes. Is it ideograph? Is it pantograph? Is it ergograph? Is it seismograph? What is it? What is going to be the correct answer? Waiting. See, in this case, when we'll talk about the instrument for measuring the intensity of earthquake, please remember what is going to be the correct answer. Here, seismograph will be the correct one. Fine. So here, seismograph is the one which is actually helping you in telling the intensity of the earthquake. So option number D will be correct over here. That is seismograph. Next, an instrument used for measuring humidity is what? So this is from Chsl 2011. What is going to be the correct answer? Is it anemometer? Is it hygrometer? Is it thermometer? What is it? Waiting for the answer. Option A, B, C, D. Whenever we talk about the measurement of the humidity, first of all, we must be knowing what is this humidity. In Hindi, we call it adrata. Fine. So yes, humidity is actually measured by hygrometer. As we have already understood, if I'll talk about humidity, what was it? We call it adrata in Hindi. So yes, humidity is actually measured by hygrometer. That is option number B. Next, before moving forward, let me tell you, there's an application that is Examper official application, which is having live paid courses with the test series, free subject wise and topic wise quizzes with the report card. Then we have job alerts. Then yes, so when we're talking about this Examper official application, we have live paid courses with the test series, we have free subject wise and topic wise quizzes with the report card, we have job alert, admit card and examination dates, all exam previous year PDFs with the solution, we have free all India scholarship test with the report card, we are having topic wise free live classes, free full length and sectional tests with the report card, free exam wise PDFs and practice set PDFs, and the most important thing, here we are also having the current affairs. Which one? Daily current affair, weekly current affair, monthly current affairs, and yes, unlimited subject wise practice questions. So all these things you will be getting at the Examper official application. Now how you are going to get it? Just go to the Play Store, type Examper app over there, then click on the install button, click on the open part, just go to the registration, do some registration, give your basic details and start using it. Fine. So this is about your Examper application, which is one place for everything. Yes. Now there's a question. The question is, meter in a vehicle that calculates distance covered by the vehicle is called what? Now this is from MTS 2014. What is going to be the correct answer? The question is, meter in a vehicle that calculates distance covered by the vehicle. Now what is it? When we talk about a vehicle, whenever we drive it, we can take the example of a car, we can take the example of a bike, we can talk about any of the automobile. There, so Pushpendra has joined us and Pushpendra thinks that it would be speedometer. No Pushpendra, it will not be speedometer, and yes, it creates confusion in the examination. Let me tell you, when we are talking about the speedometer, just try to relate it, Pushpendra. Yes, very good. That's correct. So what happens in the first go na, it's not your mistake actually, Pushpendra. I know you are aware of everything, but actually click everything. It's actually the human body which works in such a manner. As soon as we see any of the option which is related to us, we think that it is correct. But that's good. Your answer is totally correct. And Ram has also joined us. Absolutely correct. Ram, Pushpendra, both of you are correct. So let me tell you, when we are talking about the speed, this means we are talking about what? There may be kilometer per hour, or it may be miles per hour. So it is actually telling about the speed. So the meter which is measuring the speed is speedometer. But we are talking about the meter in a vehicle that is calculating the distance. So here odometer will be the correct answer. Fine. So yes, Pushpendra, Ram, both of you are correct. And yes, we will be having discussion on some of the inventors who have discovered what. So I have tricks in each and every question. So just wait and watch. We will be having that discussion as well. So yes, odometer is the correct one here. Next, who invented electric stove? This is from CHSL Tier 1 2016. Let's see, Pushpendra, Ram, who will be the first one to answer this? And now I have tricks in each and every question. See, these inventors, it's very obvious their name is not going to change. But in the examination, these questions are repeated. And we think, sir, how much can we remember? So what we can do, we can try to relate these names with the question in such a manner that in the examination, as soon as we see the option, we can directly click it. So I have each and every question with the trick, fine. And when we'll be having theoretical classes, in that I will be telling you all the tricks by which you can just remember their names. So waiting for the answer. Ram Pushpendra. Who invented electric stove? Was it Lloyd Groff Kopman? Was it Cristofori? Was it Leonardo da Vinci? Or was it Philip? Who was the one? Actually, I'm unable to get your comments. Just a second. I'll just request. Yes. So actually, I'm unable to get your comment, Pushpendra. But let me tell you, here the correct answer is what? The correct answer is Lloyd Groff Kopman. Now I have a trick. So yes, Happy has joined us. Pushpendra has given answer A. And hello Happy, how are you? Hello Shubham, how are you? So yes, Pushpendra, got your answer? Your answer was option A. It's okay now. So yes, when I'm talking about this option, just have a look. If we are using stove, why we will use it? Just try to remember by a trick. When we are using stove, we can use it for making tea, correct? Now where you will drink this tea, there must be some vessel, correct? We have cup over here. In cup we can drink tea. So the inventor's name is also relating with this cup. Just have a look. Kopman, cup, you can relate it with the cup. So yes, whenever you will be getting this question in the examination, who invented electric stove, you can directly relate it with the cup, as the name itself is there, that is Kopman, correct? So yes, hello Phenomenal, how are you? So in this manner, we'll be relating each and every question with the trick, and yes, we'll be clicking the correct answer in the examination. For 100% I am giving the surety that once you have listened this trick, no matter again you listen or not, in the examination, this will click you. You can create a story by your own, fine. So when there is electric stove, this means we'll be making tea and we'll drink tea in the cup. So cup is the one who has discovered this electric stove. Next question is, who invented rocket? Now I have trick in this also. So I have trick in each and every question. So don't worry, we'll be discussing all those tricks. But I want answer from you all first. So Pushpendra, Phenomenal, Ram, everyone. Who invented rocket? This is from Chsl 2011. Let's see who can give this answer. Who invented rocket? I guess everyone is aware of the rocket. And yes, we are 100% sure. So what is rocket? We already know. But do you know who invented it? Was it Rich K. Goyal? Was it E.M. Foster? Was it Robert Goddard? Or was it James Anderson? Pushpendra, Shubham, Ram, everyone. Phenomenal. Pushpendra, I thought that you would be the first one to answer this. I am getting your comments late. See, rocket. You know, na? Astronauts are using this. Astronauts. Whenever we use rocket, we are aware of, if I talk about the Earth, just here we have a layer that is known as ozone layer. That is, I'll use blue color over here. That is O3, ozone. And if I talk about this width is actually measured by what? We have a unit, that is Dobson. Remember this, because of which we are safe and sound. Fine. Now if we have a rocket over here and we want to reach at some other planet, so when we want to reach it, only then. And if I talk about the God, where we know that God is there in the sky. Obviously God is there in every part, but if I use rocket, I can get near to the God. Just have a look. Near God. Using rocket, I can reach near God. So yes, you can relate this answer in this manner, and your option number C will be correct. That is Robert Goddard. Got my point? So you can create these tricks in this manner. So yeah, Pushpendra, your answer was correct. And Phenomenal, you were with B, I guess, huh? So just remember it by the trick, God. If we'll go by the rocket, we'll reach God. So yes, this is the one. That is option number C. Next. Who invented the contact lens? This question is from Chsl 2016. Now again, trick is going to come, but before that I want the answer from everyone. Who invented the contact lens? Was it Enrico Fermi? Was it Adolf? Was it Sanford? Or was it Benoit? Who was the one who has discovered this contact lens? Waiting for the answer. I'll be going with the trick only when everyone gives me the answer. Otherwise, I'll directly tell this answer, like everyone does. Why we are special here? We are special here because we have all those tricks and everything which is going to be very, very useful for the examination, correct? So yes, waiting for the answer. Then we'll move forward. Who invented contact lens? And we are aware of these lenses, correct? We know that there are several lenses which are there in the market. If I talk about those lenses which we use in our eyes, so who was the one who discovered this contact lens? Any guesses? If you're not sure, you can even guess. As in the last question, phenomenal guessed, but I'm sure in the examination he'll directly take by just remembering. When we are talking about the rocket, we will be remembering God. So from God name itself, you will be clicking the correct answer. Yes. So waiting for the answer here first. Pushpendra, phenomenal. Then Ram. Ram, where's your answer? Ram, waiting for your answer. Pushpendra Singh, sir, it may be B or C. Okay. Now, just have a look at this B option. If I talk about fake, Ram is with B. Okay. So Ram, you are correct. Pushpendra, if you are playing a game like 50-50 kaun banega crorepati, then you are absolutely correct. Either B or C is the correct one. Here actually option number B is correct. That is your Adolf Fick. Now you must have listened all those songs which are there in Hindi. Correct. Now I'll give you the example of one of the song in which there's a song that is Aankh Mare or Ladki Aankh Mare. You have listened that song, Aankh Mare. So here if I talk about the flicking of this eyes, I can't do right here in the camera, but try to understand. Just using this eye like this, that is closing one of the eye in this manner. So I guess you can relate it. So if I talk about the flick or fake, you can relate it with the contact lens, that is with the eye. So you can create tricks of your own as well, but these are the things in which you can remember all these things easily. Fine, yes. So you are absolutely correct. Option number B would be the correct answer. So I guess this was the trick. I can't express that right now in the camera, but you can try to relate it. Okay. Yes, moving forward. Who invented the nuclear reactor? So this is the question from Ssc Cpo exam 2010. Nuclear reactor was invented by whom? Was it Enrico Fermi? Was it Adolf Gaston? Was it Sanford Fleming? Or was it Benoit? Who was the one? So Ritu has joined. Hello Ritu, how are you? And yes, are you the one who is from PNB? Yeah, waiting for the answer. If I talk about the nuclear reactor, this was the question which was asked in the CPO exams 2010. Now the question is, who invented this nuclear reactor? Now again I have a trick over here, but before that I want answer from everyone, whether it is Ritu, Ram, Pushpen, phenomenal, everyone. Waiting for the answer from everyone. Only then I will be going with the trick. If no one answers this, then I will be just clicking on the correct answer and move forward. So let's see who gives this answer first. So is it Pushpendra, Ram? Who will be the first one to answer this? Everyone. Who invented the nuclear reactor? Till then, let me tell you about the nuclear reactor. We will be having discussion in the modern physics part. When we are talking about the nuclear reactor, this means we are talking about the power generation. We are talking about the power generation. And when we talk about the power generation, this means there are several things which are occurring here. We can talk about the hard water which is used, correct? Then we'll talk about the cadmium rods. There are many things which come under this part where we'll be discussing about the nuclear fission and nuclear fusion, correct? When we talk about the nuclear fusion, we talk about sun over there, the reaction which is taking place on the sun. Remember, in fusion, what used to happen? It used to combine. And when the splitting was there, that was a nuclear fission. So yes, Ram is with D, Pushpendra is with D. That is Benoit. Okay. Pushpendra has given answer for me. Okay. So yes, that's true. When we talk about this option A, Enrico Fermi is the correct one. So Ritu Verma is 100% sure. So that it would be A, and that's correct. Now you can relate it with the trick. Whenever we talk about nuclear reactor, this means we are talking about what? We are talking about the power generation, correct? When we are talking about the power, in Hindi we say that हाँ इसके पास ना पावर आ गई है, पावर आ गई मतलब बहुत गर्मी है इसमें, पावर की बहुत गर्मी चढ़ गई है. सो यू कैन रिलेट विद दैट. व्हाट? न्यूक्लियर रिएक्टर इज जनरेटिंग पावर. If someone has the power, we say that okay, इसमें बहुत गर्मी चढ़ गई है. From गर्मी you can relate Fermi. So yes, Arnico Fermi is the one who has generated the nuclear reactor, which does what? Which helps us in the power generation. That's true. So power आने से गर्मी चढ़ गई है, and yes, गर्मी can be related with the Fermi. So yes, option number A is correct. That is Enrico Fermi. Next, who discovered television? This is the basic question which everyone remembers. I guess I read this question when I was in the 4th standard. So I'm sure this everyone can answer. No one requires the trick for that. So I want this answer at least in the super fast manner from everyone. Ritu, Pushpendra, Ram, Phenomenal, Shubham, everyone. I want this answer in the super fast manner. Who discovered television? And everyone must have read this in their 4th, 5th or 6th standard. Correct? So yes, no need to use any trick also. This is saved. Waiting for the answer. Who discovered neutron? Sorry, who discovered television? I guess either I'm getting comment late or you are thinking a lot for these basic questions. Pushpin, Ram, Ritu, waiting for the answer. See, I don't know, I guess I'm getting your comments late. Let me tell you, if I'll talk about the television. So here, John Baird would be the correct answer, and we are aware of this part. That is J.L. Baird. J.L. Baird is the one who has discovered television, because of which, if I talk about our childhood, we used to use this TV set, correct? For watching all those Shakalaka Boom Boom and all those Son Pari and all those stuff, which is actually not present in these days. So yes, Pushpendra, absolutely correct. Okay, so I guess I'm getting the comments late. Pushpendra, Ram, both of you are correct. That is option number D. Next. Who invented dynamite? Now, who was the one who has invented dynamite? This question is important because it is asked in the examination many times. One is from dynamite and one is from X-ray. These questions are very, very important because they are repeatedly asked. So yes, who was the one who invented dynamite? This is from CGL 2017. Who invented dynamite? And this dynamite plays a significant role these days. In the latest part, we can talk about the Twin Towers of Noida. Remember this Greater Noida part? So yes, what we are using for this blasting of all these mines, if we want to drop any of the building, we use dynamite, correct? And Ram has given the answer, so it would be Alfred Nobel, and that's absolutely correct. So Alfred Nobel invented the dynamite. That is option number B is absolutely correct. Next, cooking of rice is harder. This is from SSC text assistant. Where? This is fill in the blanks. So cooking of rice is harder where? Is it at the top of the mountains, bottom of the sea, under the mine? Same at everywhere. Is it same everywhere? Cooking of rice. Again an important one. Cooking of rice is harder at the top of mountains, at the bottom of sea, under the mine, or is it same at everywhere? I don't think so that we are, I don't know how many of you will say that sir, I have cooked my rice on the mountains, but who is the one who is going to cook the rice under the sea? But this is only for the concept purpose. Pushpendra, can you please refresh it? I guess I'm getting your comments quite late, Pushpendra. So please refresh it so I can get the live comments from you. So as Ram is with C, Ram is saying, sir, it would be under the mine. Okay. Pushpendra, wait your answer also. Only then we'll move forward. Yes. When we're talking about the cooking of rice, please remember. Okay, phenomenal. The thing is that actually you people are smart, so you think that others are smart. Okay. So Pushpendra is with C, under the mine. So there's a point. I don't know how many of you have visited those hill stations. Once you'll visit those hill stations now, please at least do camping over there. When you'll do camping, you'll get to know about it. What happens if I'm talking about a hilltop? When you'll trek here and once you reach this point, you'll get to know that what here atmospheric pressure here atmospheric pressure is quite low. Because of which, what is going to happen? Here boiling point also gets low. And when boiling point gets low, what happens? Whatever we are cooking, in the lesser temperature also, boiling point is reached. So here, I'll say that the food that is being cooked is boiling at the lower temperature, because of which food doesn't get food is unable to cook quickly, or I'll say it is not made in the proper manner. So yes, please remember, on the top of the mountain, the boiling point is actually coming at the lower temperature, because of which food doesn't get cooked quickly, fine, or in a better manner. So yes, now can you tell me what can be done in order to get rid of it? If I want to cook rice or whatever food I'm cooking, I want that to be cooked in a proper manner. So what should I do? Is there any option, or is there everyone who is living on the mountain is eating those uncooked stuff? So yes, cooking of rice is harder on the top of the mountain, that is true. Why? The reason is also because there is less atmospheric pressure. That's also true. But what should I do in order to cook that in the proper manner? Can anyone suggest me? Or we have to eat like this only? Yes. Any suggestion? Now, why I am saying this? Because this question was asked in the examination. Let's have a look at this question, then we'll move forward. So there's a next question. Pressure cooker reduces the time required for the cooking because of what? Now, thank you Shubham for the same. So what I was saying, when we all will get, we all be selected in the examination. For example, Pushpendra, who is selected in the Ssc Chsl, for example, phenomenal is from CGL and getting some other post. Now we all will go for a trip. Fine. Now once we go for the trip for the camping purpose, we'll cook food over there. Now for cooking food, what we'll do, we'll remember this lecture. Sir, if we are going to cook in a normal way, that means we are not going to get the proper food. What we'll do, we will use pressure cooker. Pressure cooker will give you the perfect food. Fine. Yes, adding salt is one of the other option which I'll help you out, or I'll tell you when we'll talk about the even for the cooling purpose also. Just a minute for that, but it's good that you have given the answer. So pressure cooker is the one which is actually used for getting the proper food. Now, the question is, pressure cooker reduces the time required for cooking. It is because of what? So this is from MTS 2014. Let's see who will give this answer. Boiling point of water increases inside the cooker. Boiling point of water decreases inside the cooker. High pressure makes soft food. Heat energy is distributed equally. So what is going to be the correct answer? Pressure cooker reduces the time required for the cooking. That's true. And it is giving you the proper food also. But how? What is actually happening there? So again I am asking, the boiling point of the water increases inside the cooker. Is this the answer? Boiling point of water decreases inside the cooker. Is this the answer? High pressure makes soft food, or heat energy distributes equally. So yes, Ram is going with option A. Pushpendra. Others, are you all with Ram? And yes, that's true. If I'll talk about the pressure cooker, this pressure cooker is helping you in getting the proper food. Why? Because boiling point of water inside the cooker actually increases, because of which proper cooking is done. Okay, so whenever you're talking about the hill stations or the proper cooking of the food, pressure cooker is the best part. Fine. Now someone was saying, this Pushpendra was the one who was talking about the adding of salt. I'll give you one more example over here, Pushpendra. See, whenever we buy a ice cream, now if on the spot I am eating, then there is no issue. What if I want to take this ice cream to my home? If I want to take this ice cream to my home, and my home is, for example, 20 kilometers, fine. So my home is actually at a distance of 20 kilometers from this ice cream shop. So what can be done? For example, I am taking kulfis. For my family members, I am taking 5 kulfis. Fine. So now, when I take this 5 kulfis, is there any method so that those particular kulfis will not melt? Yes, there's a method. What is it? Let me tell you. What I'll do, I'll use a bag in which there will be ice cubes, or there would be ice. Now we are aware of, if we are talking about the ice, this means it will be at 0 degree centigrade. True? Now what if I drop, I'll use another color. What if I drop some salt over here? And if I drop a salt over here, this will do what? Adding the salt to it will reduce this temperature. It will further reduce. That is, your temperature would be around -3 or -4. So I am writing -2 for example. Just an example. This means what is going to happen? Because of the adding of the salt, my temperature has decreased. Because of which I can take this kulfis or this ice cream to a longer distance. Fine. So yes, this salt is playing a significant role, not only helping your body to stay safe, because we talk about the iodized salt. That is totally different thing, which is from bio part. But yes, adding salt also decreases the temperature. So Pushpendra, this was the explanation which was actually required, because you asked this question and this question is asked in the examination. We must remember this. Okay then. So we have discussed this question also. Next is 1 bar is equal to what? This is from Ssc Steno 2011. 1 bar is equal to what? 1 bar is equal to what? So yes, who can answer this? Who can answer this? 1 bar is equal to what? This is from Ssc Steno 2011. Is it 10 to the power 3 Pascal? Is it 100 Pascal? Is it 10 to the power 5 Pascal? Or is it 10 to the power 4 Pascal? What is the correct answer? Waiting for the answer only, then we can proceed forward. 1 bar is equal to what? This is from Ssc Steno 2011. Whenever we will talk about this bar, this means we are talking about pressure. True. So yes, in the pressure we have units bar also, Pascal also. But when I'll talk about its conversion, here 1 bar is equal to 10 to the power 5 Pascal. Fine. Or rather, I can write like this. 1 bar is equal to 10 to the power 5 Pascal. Remember this. Okay then. Let's move forward now. Next question is, the boiling point of water depends upon the what? Now this is from CGL 2016 and we have just explained it. I guess everyone can answer this now. The boiling point of water depends upon what? Is it atmospheric pressure? Is it volume? Is it density? Or is it mass? What is going to be the correct one? Boiling point is depending on what? Just think. Will it depend upon volume? Will it depend upon the density? Will it depend upon the mass? Pushpin, I don't know. You're giving the answer for what? Was it for the previous question or this one? Are you talking about the boiling point, Pushpin? The boiling point of water is depending upon what? This is from CGL 2016. Is it atmospheric pressure? Is it volume? Is it density? Or is it mass? So if you are going with mass, then this would be wrong. The correct answer would be atmospheric pressure. We have discussed about it, true? When we were talking about the hill station and when we were talking about this part, correct? So here, when I talk about the height, here what is going to happen? The atmospheric pressure will decrease, because of which there was the change in the boiling point, because of which rice were not cooking in the proper manner. Remember? So what we had to use? We had to use the pressure cooker. Remember? So yes, it is actually depending on the atmospheric pressure. Therefore, option number A will be correct. Next, hydraulic brakes used in automatic vehicles is direct virtual application of which law? This is from CHSL 2012. Is it Pascal law? Okay, Pushpendra, you were absolutely correct for this answer. Correct, totally correct. So yes, and everyone is requested to kindly like this session and share it. And very important thing. Yeah, that was correct, Pushpendra. Absolutely correct. Awesome. So he's waiting for this answer. And Ram, waiting for your answer as well. So my question is, hydraulic brakes used in automatic vehicles is direct virtual application of which law? Which law? So is it Pascal's law? Is it Archimedes' principle? Is it Newton's law? Is it Boyle's law? What is it? Hydraulic brakes. Whenever we'll talk about these brakes, hydraulic brakes, please remember what happens. We can take the example of a car. When there's a car, we apply brake, Y above foot. just imagine this is the brake. We have applied the pressure over here. Now what happens, if I talk about the Pascal law, it states that whenever you are applying a pressure at any of the field, if at any one point, it is equally distributed, correct? Now we have wheels over there, and this brake shoe will apply brakes, correct? So yes, whenever we are talking about the hydraulic brakes, here it is actually the application of Pascal's law. So option number A is going to be the correct answer. So this was from the CHSL 2012. Next, which law or principle states that when a body is immersed fully or partially in a fluid, it experiences an upward force that is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it? This is from CPO 2017, and which is this law? Pushpendra, your answer was totally correct. You were talking about Pascal's law, correct? And that was absolutely correct one. Let me request the team to get the live comments. I guess I'm getting your comments quite late. Okay, till then you can answer this. Is it Boyle's law? Is it Charles' law? Is it Archimedes' principle? Or is it Pascal's law? So Abhijit has joined, and Abhijit is giving the answer. So it would be C. It is Archimedes' principle, and Pushpendra is also with C. Totally correct. Totally correct. So yes, when we're talking about the principle, here, let it be the box in which water is there. Now, whatever is immersed in it, water will spill out, correct? And it will be equal to the weight of the fluid which is actually displaced. This will be equal to the this particular weight which is coming out of, and this weight would be totally equal. That is the object's weight. Now, this example I'll relate you. What happened when there was a scientist known as Archimedes? He was actually researching on this part from such a long time. Once he entered into his washroom, and there was a tub that was kept, and he did what? He actually sat in this tub, and when he was sitting in this tub, as soon as he was there inside the tub, the water actually came out, and something that clicked in his mind was, yes, I got the answer. And in his language, he shouted, Eureka, Eureka. And without clothes, he actually got out from his bathroom and started running. And this was the way in which this Archimedes principle was actually discovered. So yes, Archimedes principle actually states that when a body is immersed fully or partially in a fluid, for example that part, so it experiences an upward force which is equal to the weight of the fluid which is actually displaced by this particular object or this body. So yes, option number C, that is Archimedes principle, will be the correct answer. Next, which of the following quantities does not have any unit? So this is from CPO 2017. Is it speed, density, relative density, or acceleration? Very simple question. We can get this answer directly by having a look at the name itself. So yes, waiting for the answer. Is it speed, density, relative density, or acceleration? What is going to be the correct one? Pushpendra, Abhijit, Ram, waiting for the answer. Waiting for the answer. Pushpendra is C. That is, sir, it will be relative density. Okay. So Abhijit, waiting for your answer as well, so that we can proceed forward. Which is not having any unit. So we are aware of, if I'll talk about any of these cases, we know that speed is actually having unit. Density, again, there's a unit. Acceleration, there's a unit. But if I'll talk about relative density, here we are talking about two densities, and we are taking its ratio. When we'll take the ratio of anything, whatever it is, for example, I'll write 5 meter per second upon 6 meter per second. So what will happen in this case? 5 meter per second upon 6 meter per second. In this case, these units will cancel out, correct? In the similar way, when we are talking about the relative density, here we will be getting no such unit. That's why we say that it is a unitless quantity. Fine. So yes, which of the following does not have any unit? Here, relative density would be the correct answer. Next, what is the SI unit of pressure? We have discussed about it lots of time. So here, what is going to be the correct answer? If I'll talk about the SI unit of pressure, is it Newton, Weber, Pascal, or Henry? What is going to be the correct answer? Yes. So Pushpendra has given the correct answer of that relative density. And if I'll talk about those relative densities, we were aware of. We can talk about the density of any of the substance, and we'll just give the ratio with the density of the reference. Correct. So that was relative density. We can tell any of the substances density with the reference what we are taking for. So yes, since that will cancel out the units, that's why there is no such unit. Now Pushpendra is again with C, and that's totally correct. When we are talking about the SI unit of pressure, that is your Pascal. Now, if I'll talk about for which of the following game players must have the knowledge of Pascal's law. Now, who can give this answer? There are Ankit has joined us, and Ankit is also giving answer. See, that was true. That was the basic question, and it's good that you have given the answer. Now, this one is important. Which of the following game player must have the knowledge of Pascal law? Is it climbing? Is it paragliding? Is it rafting? Or is it scuba diving? So till the time you are giving me answer, till then I can explain you this part. When we're talking about climbing, for any hill part, when you're climbing, you can talk about this trekking part and all. So Ankit has told, sir, it would be D. That is scuba diving. Okay. Till then, I'm waiting for the answer from others as well. If I talk about the paragliding, we are aware of when we are on the hilltop or any of such location where height is there, we can use parachutes and other things, using which you can just explore that particular area. If I talk about rafting, this means we are talking about river, where we are doing rafting, correct? You can talk about the Rishikesh, many locations are there. So yes, Pushpendra and Ankit, both of you are with D. That's true. Scuba diving. What is it? When we talk about any of the water body, which is actually deep here, when we get inside, it's very obvious we have some weight, correct? We'll be displacing some water. But the location where we are putting such a pressure, that pressure is equally divided into different points. But the most important thing is that the depth actually tells us which particular area would be safe, or which particular height is actually safe in which you are getting into the water. Now, since we are acting at like that point, we are acting like a particular object which is there inside the water. So how much water we are actually displacing there? Now we can talk about any of the ball. For example, there's a ball, and there we have done some dots. We have actually made some holes, and if I'm applying the pressure at this location, there would be pressure on the other points which would be equally distributed, correct? So here, when we are going inside the water, the law which is applicable, Ankit is saying something. So deep diving inside any water body put the pressure on a body which is proportional to the depth of the water, and that's true. I'll give the example of Ankit, a submarine over here. When we're talking about the submarine, it's very obvious when it is inside the water, there would be some pressure which is acting over there, correct? So I was what I was saying, yeah, and a weight as well, true. So you can talk about the submarine also. So submarines example or our example can be same when we are actually going into the deep water. So yes, here scuba diving would be the correct, where we are talking about the Pascal's law. Now where there's one more thing I actually wanted to ask, are you all aware of this dimensional analysis? Dimensional analysis. If you are aware of this, then I'll directly ask you questions. If you're not aware of this, then I'll first explain, then proceed with this. So Ankit, Pushpendra, are you aware of this part? What is this dimensional analysis? I'll just give you a hint. When we talk about any of the units, for example, when I'm talking about force, this means I'm talking about Newton. But if I'm not aware of other things, I can't give its dimensional analysis. And I'll give you a hint how we are writing it. We use MLT. Now what is this MLT and all, I'll explain you. But till then, I want the answer. Are you aware of these things? What is dimensional analysis? If someone asks you about the force, speed, can you directly tell what would be the dimensional formula for that? Please give me the answer so that I can either directly start asking question, or first I'll explain this part. So waiting for the response. Pushpendra, Ankit, everyone. Abhijit, Hola there. Are you all aware of this dimensional analysis? Dimensional formula? I guess I'm getting your comments quite late. So I'll do one thing. I'll not wait for the comment. I'll directly start explaining it. For example, if I'm talking about speed, what is the unit that we use? We have the unit that is meter per second, true. Now, if I talk about these MLTs, please remember, M is actually standing for mass. L stands for length. T stands for time. So we have M for mass, L for length and T for time. Simple? Okay, Ankit, fine. Now what happens when someone asks us about this dimensional formula? We write in such a manner, MLT, where we have a look. If there is meter per second, for example, oh, hello Elma, no issues, no issues, welcome. So we'll be having class for 5 minutes here, 5 more minutes where we are discussing Elma about this dimension analysis. So how are you? Yes. So when we are talking about this meter per second, this means meter is what? Ankit, meter is actually your length. True? Now, what is the power of meter? It's just 1. So what we'll do, we'll just check. There's how much of meter's power is what? Meter's power is just 1. So we'll write m's power 1 over here. Now, meter per second. This means I can write in such a manner. Meter second inverse. This is one and the same thing. Now, if I'll talk about this second, second means what? I'm talking about time. But time's power is what? That is -1. That's why it will be -1. Now, sorry, this was not about mass, sorry. Since we are talking about meter, this means we are talking about length. So it will be L1. Now there is no such mass. So what I'll do? I can directly say it would be 0. So M0 L1 T -1. Or I can directly write L1 T inverse. Got my point? So both these things would be correct because m's power 0 is going to be what? That would be 1 itself. Whatever, no matter what unit is there. For example, if I'll write any of the number, 100's power 0, this will also be 1. 1's power 0 will also be 1. True. So if I talk about 1 lakh's power 0 also, that is also going to be 1. So yes, Ilma, that would be L1 T inverse. Simple. So if this is clear, let's talk about acceleration. Acceleration. So let's see who will be the first one. Will it be Ilma? Will it be Ankit? Will it be Pushpendra? Who will be the first one to answer this? If I'll talk about the acceleration dimensional formula, so what is going to be the answer? We have understood all the facts, correct? So yes, if I'm talking about the acceleration, kindly give me its dimensional formula. Acceleration. Waiting. So yes, Ankit has directly written, sir, if I talk about acceleration, this means we are talking about meter per second squared. That's true. When I'm talking about the meter, this means there is no such mass, so m is 0. If I talk about this, so I can write it as meter second -2. So we have L1 and T as -2. So we can write M0, L1 and T -2. So that's absolutely correct. Fine. Now there's a question which was asked previously. That's true. Ilma, awesome. Then Ankit, cool. So yes, you all are here with the correct one. Now, what you have written, Ilma? Ilma, you have written L2 and T inverse. But it is what? It is meter per second squared, na? Ankit, okay, your comment is still waiting. Ankit, do you have any kind of doubt here? Do you have any kind of doubt? Ilma, meter per second square was correct. But if I talk about the dimensional formula, please have a look. What is this? This is going to be the correct one. That is L1 T -2. Ankit, others, if anyone is having doubt, please let me know. Anyone? It's very important. I don't want anyone to go wrong here. Getting my point? Please, 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 waiting for the response. Okay. So now, acha, okay, that means it was clear. So there's a last question for the day. There is last question for the day. I want answer for force. What is the dimensional formula for the force? Who will give me this answer? Dimensional formula for the force. Dimensional formula for the force. Now I'll write unit. We are aware of what? Newton. But, or I'll write N. Otherwise I have to write the small n. Okay. Cool, Ankit. Cool. So gotcha, huh? Ilma, no, it would not be Newton per second. That's wrong. But this is important, that's why I'm asking, because it was asked previously and many times it is asked. So I'm writing very important, but need answer from everyone. What is the dimensional formula for force? Ankit, please, in the super fast manner. Now, let me write for you all. I guess I'm getting your comments quite late. If I'll write about Newton, or I can also write one more thing, which we must remember. That is what? Kg meter per second square. Please remember this. What is it? Kg meter per second square. Now, if I'll write kg meter per second square, kg means what? So, just a second. It would be kg meter like this. Now, kg means what? I'm talking about mass over here, correct? So, what I'm having the power for mass? For the mass, I have 1. This is length. For length, I have 1. For time, I have -2. True? So, what is going to be? Koi baat nahi. No issues, Elma. It's my work to explain you. So, if I'll write this, just have a look. M power is what? 1. T power is -2. L power is 1. So it will be M1 L1 T minus 2. So this is going to be your answer. Got my point? M1 L1 T minus 2. That's totally correct, Ankit. So Ilma, no issues. We'll do one thing. In the evening, we are going to discuss the physical quantities, correct? So there we'll be having what is scalar quantity, what is vector quantity. It is the basic chapter in which basic details will be given, basic conversions will be explained, and yes, obviously we are going to discuss about this dimensional formula. So from 6 to 7 in the evening, we will be having theoretical class in which I will be explaining this. Okay? So okay then, meet you in the evening. Then I've already told you we have Exampur official app. Just go to the Play Store, type Exampur over there, click on the install button, do some registration and start using it. So please like this video, share it, and do not forget we have 6 to 7 theoretical class with the MCQs, and in the morning 12 to 1 previous year questions. So we'll be talking, or we'll be discussing about physical quantities in the evening 6 to 7. Till then, bye bye everyone. Please take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.